What is going on? This is Matt Cohn with Different Hunger, and I just want to provide you with a very quick little training that will help you easily gain an extra 30 hours per week using the 1440 method. All right, so if you're like most freelancers and agency owners, then this is what a typical workday looks like for you. Okay, so you're spending about 4 hours or about half of your day on client work, project management, those types of activities. Okay, next is random stuff. Random stuff always comes up, especially when you don't plan in advance. So that's about 60 minutes, give or take a few, right? So after that, we have, of course, reading and replying to way too many emails. Chances are, if you're like most people, you have an overflooded inbox, and you have to kind of sort through all that junk to get to the important emails. Okay, so that's about 60 minutes. Next is about 30 minutes of messaging friends, messaging team members, messaging clients on Facebook or Slack or wherever it is that you communicate. After that is actually planning your day, right? So if you don't plan your days in advance, then you typically have to spend some time during the day, around 45 minutes or so, actually planning out what is going to get done. And if you have a team, you have to plan out, what they're doing. And then 45 minutes on actually growing the business. It's crazy, right? Like so many of the freelancers and agencies that we talk to and that come to us to get help and to work with us are, saying, look, I'm struggling to grow my business. And when I find out, what their time looks like, 75% of their time is being spent on client work and operations and delivery. And, the remaining maybe 10 or 20% is being spent on actually biz dev and actually growing the business, right? So, 45 minutes might be a little bit generous, but that's the kind of number that we're working with here. And then lastly is, of course, getting sucked into the vortex of social media, YouTube, Instagram, whatever feeds it is that has your attention. That's about 30 minutes. So that's what an 8.5 hour workday typically looks like for most people that we hear from and most people that we've started working with. So I want to provide you with an alternative workday, right? So this workday is about half as much time, but it is more than twice as effective. And here are the reasons why. So 90 minutes of your day is spent on sales and partner calls, okay? 45 minutes is spent on marketing and sales strategy, right? So after that, you're working on focused work. Maybe it's 90-day goal type work, 90-day project type work. The next 30 minutes is spent on quality control and keeping clients happy. So a much higher level of management versus actually doing the client work, actually managing the projects yourself. Next 30 minutes spent on improving systems, improving processes. Okay. The next 30 minutes is, once you have those processes down, it's actually hiring and training people on how to use those internally so that you can continue to remove yourself from those operations and client work, right? Next is replying to important emails, right? Not sorting through thousands and hundreds of BS emails, but actually just replying to the important ones. Next is taking 20 minutes to actually plan for the next day so you don't have to spend that time actually planning your day the day of. And then lastly is 20 minutes of just random stuff that comes up. So that's about 5 hours of your time. But as you can see here, it's a much, much more valuable use of your time. So the 8-hour workday, the values associated with these, and these values are chosen based on how much it would take for you to outsource each one of these tasks, okay? So you can see that there's lots of red on the 8-hour workday. And because of that, you have a very low value generated on your day. And not only that, but you're barely spending any time on marketing, sales, and the key business pillars that are required to grow, okay? So when you compare that to a 5-hour workday, which, at first glance, it's like, what the heck? How can I get more done in half the amount of time? It might be like blowing your mind right now, but you can see that these activities are a lot more focused on leverage, right? These are focused on tasks that create more time or more money within your business. And another way to think of it is you're spending time today to save time tomorrow. and to make you even more time tomorrow and make you even more money tomorrow, right? So it's a very leveraged approach to your work, right? And so even though you're spending more than 3 hours less on the 5-hour workday, you're generating nearly 3 times as much value based on the tasks that you are delivering, right? So let's kind of dive into some of the problems here, right? Again, you're spending way too much time on client work. You're spending too much time wasted because you didn't plan out your day. You're spending an hour in your inbox. You're spending an hour messaging and on social media. And before you know it, you've lost 8 hours of your day. So how do we fix this? Okay, so to fix the 4 hours of client work, what you need to do is you need to systemize your services. You need to systemize your delivery. And then you need to automate or delegate that work out to a VA or to contractors. When you do that, you're going to gain an extra 3 hours. Next, instead of wasting time because you're not planning, plan every day the day before. And after you do that, you're going to gain at least another hour and a half in your day-to-day. After that, an hour spent in your inbox, you can actually outsource the entire email processing system. And this is something I've done within my business and helped other people do as well. When you do that, you're going to easily save 30 minutes, probably closer to 60 minutes per day. And then lastly is when you actually advance schedule and advance prepare your day, you don't get sucked into the vortex of social media because you actually have a plan that you're going to stick to and follow. And that will easily gain another hour to your day. So look, after you've implemented these solutions, you're looking at an additional 6 hours that you've gained by implementing these.
I talk about all these successful people I interview, and they don't all do the same 15 things. Those are just the most common things.
Right.
But what they all have in common is they truly, I call it the power of 1440. There's 1,440 minutes in a day. And that's the number that can change your life, because when you realize just how valuable time is, money, you can lose it and make it back. Even your health, you can get sick and you can get healthy again. Even your relationships, you can get divorced and remarry the love of your life. But time, once it's gone, it's gone.
You got me twisted.